welcome to the Nerds Against Normality podcast. And we've got a slightly different episode for you today. We're going to be going into some of our highlights from 2024. So as always, I'm Stacey Bowles and I'm here with...
Harry Bowles.
And I'm also here with...
Ben.
And Tifa is here too.
Her film choices were shit.
So, before we get into our highlights from 2024, we have a very special Christmas card sent to us by our lovely and poor editor, Mitch.
Not poor as in wealth. I'm sure he's got so much money.
He is incredibly wealthy.
No, we just keep him in the corner in a cage until he's ready to edit.
We keep him on a $3,000 a month retainer. Minimum, plus expenses.
Is that okay? Is that what people live on?
That is what he told me.
Okay.
He said, like, podcast developers have to do that. They have to be on a $3,000 plus retainer.
Ben, if you can scan the QR code...
How am I going to scan the QR? I'm on airplane mode.
Does your camera not work?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, but it actually connects to the internet, won't it?
Yeah, but you've got Wi-Fi.
Right, I'm scanning the QR code. What do I... Shall I play
Okay, so
now?
if you could turn up your volume and play it for our listeners, please.
Okay, will Mitch be okay with me having his voice on?
Well, he can cut it out if he doesn't, I guess. That is his job.
Oh, is that what he does?
Yeah.
To Harry, Stacey and Ben. I wanted to call you Harry, Stacey. This is a weird thing, right? Harry Bowles, Stacey Bowles and Ben. And I know Ben Bowles. That's just blown my mind. Just realised. Merry Christmas. And thank you for finding me, Mitch. It's me, Mitch. For finding mitch.co.uk to bring me on to edit the podcast. It's genuinely my favourite podcast to edit. It's the only podcast I edit, but it's not. I have 6 or 7, but yes.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah, it's genuinely entertaining, funny, and valuable. It provides value to the listener. I went a bit professional there. Please ignore that bit. Poo, shit, and stuff like that, just to bring it back. Mm-hmm. But yes, thank you, and have an excellent Christmas, whatever you're going to be doing, and I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch.
Actually, yeah, absolute. For the end of the year, absolute OG, because I really think without him, we may not have had this running as well as it probably does.
Yeah, 'cause he's helped out with connections and helping us out.
Yeah, he's done really well.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch.
And whenever we pay him, it's probably not enough.
Well, we're now paying him extra for the nice things that he said about us in that.
Which is
tell the listener.
Which is weird, because he messaged me, because I've got another podcast on the side, and he said that was his favourite one.
I was just trying to look up mitch.co.uk to see if it existed, but it's not. It's not loading in.
Well,
So good news, Mitch.
I'm buying that. Merry Christmas, you're getting mitch.co.uk.
So, as I mentioned, this is a slightly different episode where we're just going to take a look back at our favourite things from 2024.
Yeah, a bit more casual.
So, we launched this podcast in August 2024. Since then, we have almost taken on BBC Gardener's World.
We've taken on Ben Affleck in
We've
court.
taken on Ben Affleck in court. How's that going, Ben?
Beat him in court. Physically, he's demolished me.
And we've made a lot of mistakes, and I think it's fair to say we've grown since we launched this podcast. We now
If
actually...
you look at our viewership, no.
No, hard to see.
We've gone, I'd say, in.
I would hard disagree. I think we've just made we've just not learned from anything.
That is not true. Since we launched, we've been on TV. We've got a new mic so that hopefully you sound a little bit better. Thanks, Ben.
We never learned a thing!
No, but we have got new listeners. We want to say hi to our new listeners from Japan who've never listened to this podcast before.
We have listeners from Japan?
Yep.
We do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do the metric stuff.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Hi.
Gozaimasu.
If you do enjoy listening to this podcast, follow us on social media because there is a lot of exclusive content where we try and do parody skits. We did one for Halloween and Dragon Ball.
Challenges.
We do hot chip challenges, but not all of us, mainly Ben.
Challenge. It was a punishment. It's because I lost a thing. It wasn't a challenge. It didn't come in and say, "Oh, Ben, do you want to try this?" Because I would have said no.
Still could have said no.
No, I couldn't have though.
No, you couldn't.
No, it's a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
I lost fair and square, so I must take the hot chip.
You would have been disowned from the group.
And we've also tried to vary the things that we've reviewed, so we hope that you've liked them, but do email us at nerdsagainstnormalitypod@outlook.com if there is something you'd like to hear differently. What has been your favourite podcast episode we've recorded, chaps?
My favourite one, I think for the Off the Rails one, I think Violent Night was my favourite.
That was a good one. Harry got quite angry.
Because now I know how to push him, and it's great. We've unlocked it. I also really, really enjoyed Damsel. I think Damsel
For the wrong reasons.
I think Damsel was my favourite because it was the first one we had done where we all actively didn't like it, and I remember us all sort of sitting here and then trying to be quite nice about it, but you could see all of us like just like waiting for the spoilers to come around to be like, I hated this film and everyone in it. I hate this and I hate you.
Fuck you, Millie Bobby Brown.
So yeah, I think Damsel for me.
Okay, Harry.
Mine would be Violent Night. I think if anyone could have a little insight to one episode, it would be that. I think we were all singing on the same page quite well. It had a good level of humour to serious film ratio. Either that or any one of the debate questions that I've won.
All three. Even the one that you weren't debating in. I really liked the debates as well. I think they were really, really fun. And we still talk about them now. We still argue about them even when we're not recording this podcast.
Yeah, we should do more of them next year.
I love Violent Night, but I also really like the Don't Move review because we had a lot of fun and a lot of laughter reviewing that. So, I mean, we have mainly reviewed films because, let's face it, they're easier for all three of us to dedicate time to and watch. But we have a couple of game episodes out there as well, and we're hoping to branch out and do some more next year. So, sticking with films. So if we look at the films that have been released in 2024, I want to know what your top 3 films of 2024 were. Also, we don't know each other's lists, so it'll be interesting to see if we have any similarities. But let's kick this off with Mr. Harry Bowles.
That's me.
Your top 3 films of 2024.
In no order.
In no particular order.
Okay, so Dune 2, Dune-ageddon.
Dune Requiem.
Yeah.
Let's go and Dune this again.
That was the best pun you've ever done.
Does that make you happy, Ben?
I don't know.
Is it conflicting?
Technically, it's the start of the year, so I'm peaked on the 1st of Jan.
It's all downhill from here, mate.
Right.
Sorry.
Happy New Year, everyone.
I know that won't be on someone else's list, but I really enjoyed it. I've also thought, although it's a sequel, it felt like it was part of, like 1 and 2 you kind of have to watch together.
Yeah.
It isn't its own independent film.
No.
You really have to watch the first one to get the second one. The first one is the build up, the second one is the payoff.
Yeah, hit the nail on the head there. 1 was definitely like it's required watching, otherwise I think the world doesn't make a lot of sense and like what's actually going on, the power politics and all that in 2 don't make sense, but then
also those Dragonfly helicopters look sick.
Oh, they're so good.
That instantly made the list.
Oh man, I appreciate it's a Nazi film, but my God, did I want to tear my own eyeballs out.
Which is so surprising because it's such a you film.
I'm surprised as well, but I would literally rather lick sand.
Good comparison is Star Wars for adults.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And also this, like, they've tried 3 times to, I mean, this has all been said before, but Dune has been tried to be adapted twice over 30 years or something, and no one got it right. And somehow Denis Villeneuve came along and just nailed
somehow
it.
with a $200 million budget, they've bloody done it. They've bloody done it.
I was gonna get onto this. Oh, money's the answer.
I can't believe it.
That's what we're missing for this podcast. Again, anyone
if anyone
listening.
has 200, Timothy Chalamet, of actual name, what's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Close
nailed
enough.
it. Yeah. Guy from Dune.
Dune guy.
Dune guy.
Dune.
That would make a very good film.
If you could back us, because Ben Affleck won't. What's your next one?
So, Smile 2.
I'm surprised because you don't smile much.
No. That's why I like it. It's nice to see people happy. Because I just don't see it in my home life.
Oh, God.
But I thought it was a very good horror. I think it was a horror that surpassed the first film and then some. It was a film that kind of, I think they got the green light with the budget. It was like, yeah, you're clearly, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Make the first one but bigger and better. And I think he just did exactly that. It's good fun. It had enough scares in there.
I was going to say,
good.
it's...
You're not going to sit there and be like, oh my God, it's going to be up there for the awards. It's not. And I was torn between this and Heretic. Even though they're 2 very different films. No, I really enjoyed it. I question how they're going to make a third one without absolutely fucking it up. If someone said to me, could you recommend me a horror this year? That's the film I would recommend 100%. That. So for that reason, it has to make my list.
Okay, and your third?
Oh, I'll give you a guess.
Sonic 3 by any chance?
Oh, it absolutely is.
What?
Of course it was going to be.
And we know which of those three is number one. We're not putting in order, but we know.
I'm going to go a little bit, not deep, but
No, go on.
I think the film franchise revitalised the whole Sonic series.
It needed
was
a
such
tinderbox.
a low point. And when the film came out, it was a joke. Like when it got the first trailer and it was ugly Sonic and he had real teeth and he looked hideous. And it was just like another kick to the franchise. You're like, why are they doing this? And then they listened and they did the redesign. Or did they?
I was going to say.
Your famous conspiracy theory.
Did they? Or was it marketing? Who knows? Who cares? But I think they've done justice by the series. And it's a series that means a lot to me from childhood, and seeing it progress from this little kids film that was just probably going to tick along at the box office to then go and be a juggernaut that's going to take on Mufasa at the cinema. I think it's just such a step up.
Well, it's going toe to toe with that and Warner Brother. No, it's going toe to toe with that and Sony. And
Sony and Disney.
And it's winning.
Yeah.
What you're saying is
Don't fuck with Sonic.
Mario, you twat.
Sonic is the scar of Mufasa who's like dangling him over the cliff. Like, oh. Just want to say that we are releasing an episode in the new year to talk about Sonic and how much Harry wanked to it.
The slight spoiler for that episode, it's more than you think, but less than you hoped.
We did watch it in the cinema. It was awkward for everyone.
Especially as there was kids around. Honourable mentions. So, Heretic, as mentioned. Honourable mention. Very much enjoyed that. Deadpool, Wolverine.
Yep.
I think that was honourable mention.
Didn't make your list.
Didn't make the list. Only because I just feel like the MCU's bloated cinema. And I think it did the right thing by admitting we fucked up a little bit. We just need to do a reset.
Yeah.
And they picked the right guys to do it. People love Deadpool. People love Wolverine. Mm-hmm. And it was a good little fun little film. But the only other one was another horror. And that was Late Night with the Devil, which I really enjoyed.
It's a big year for horrors, isn't it?
I forgot. I forgot we watched that.
I watched it again. I watched it in Australia with Chris because I really enjoyed it, and I thought, you know what, he likes his horror. I watched.
Still as good the second time around.
Yeah,
yeah.
Good. It's quite nice knowing
what's going to happen in it
and the little ghost sightings in the film that you know about. You don't see it the first time you watch it.
Oh yeah, because I remember us going back over through that and being like, oh fucking
hell, yeah. Oh, she's in the mirror.
Okay. So thank you. Ben, what are your top 3 films from 2024?
In no particular order, I'll get my one as well out of the way. June 2. It's also on my list.
Fest.
Yeah, June 2, I think the way we saw it as well, I think it's really difficult to have. You know how rare it is? We did the joke earlier about 200 million. You know how rare it is to have a huge budget and given the time to use that budget and given all of it with a director that sort of A, knows what they're doing and also has a very unique vision for how he wants that film to be. That is so rare to do. It did so well, and the way we saw it as well, we saw it in IMAX, so you had the sound coming at you and the massive screen and the visuals. I think it was just fantastic.
What's your next one?
My next one is Heretic.
Is it?
It's Heretic. I absolutely loved it. I thought it's just such a good horror film that I didn't really know what I was going to get going in, and then I got the thing going in, and I liked the thing I got going in.
Based off both your reviews of Heretic, I might actually give that a go next year.
Yeah, I think you would really enjoy it. I just love that it's just this low budget. It's essentially 3 people-ish in a room, and it's Hugh Grant. And I think Hugh Grant does the best acting he's ever done. So yeah, Heretic was one of my other ones.
Okay, and your third?
My third one was Civil War. That came out this year. That was an early one in April. And
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, Kirsten Dunst, Ant Garland, writing and directing it. Just a really good... I want to say it's a war film, but it's really not. But I think it came out at this right time where, to get a bit deep in it, it's, what has now happened in US politics. And you're like looking at it, it's like,
this could happen.
This could happen. And they were talking about, when they were talking about barricading police stations and such, because they're like, yeah, if a certain person gets elected, we might have a civil war. I was like, there's a film that's just come out that might be a good template.
No, that sounds interesting. I didn't see it.
I really liked it. Yeah, just really well done. I think it goes a bit, the trailer makes it seem like this big out and out war film, where I say it's more a lot slower burn. It's quite slow, and it's a bit more just sort of like.
Well, it's about the journalist story, isn't it?
Yeah.
The war is just around her.
Yeah, and I think it really captures like this sort of whose side is actually on which side is anyone on, because there's just mistakes everywhere. And yeah, great performances. Jesse Plemons is in it for 6 minutes and he steals the show. Got a few honourable mentions.
Honourable mentions.
I've got an honourable mention is Smile 2. It's definitely up there. I'm going to give it an honourable mention because Sonic 3.
Yeah.
Because it was a fun film, but also like to get this topic, I like that it made Harry happy.
Yeah, I like that.
Harry's big day out!
It kind of was like it was like it's one of the only ones that can get everyone together for like an event, and it was Sonic, and I was like, I like that a retro video game can still do that for a group of 30-something people.
He saved up one of his smiles for that day.
He did. He broke it.
My cheeks are still aching.
I know. He's in that full body cast somehow. Honourable mention Monkey Man.
Yeah, you said about that in the previous review.
Yeah.
You said that you liked it.
Yeah, which was Dev Patel led sort of action film, but it's just a really good look at like it's a good action film that's on a low budget, which I love, and it's also about a part of the world I know nothing about, which is like Indian subculture and like their myths and legends, which I was like, oh, interesting. You actually done something really quite cool here. I'm gonna see the reaction for this. Another one, Long Legs. I really like Long Legs.
I said that to you. Do you not like it?
You haven't seen Long Legs?
No, but I mentioned that to you as one of the
I don't
films.
think you'd enjoy Long Legs. It's bloody frightening.
Yeah, no, there's no
Is
way
it?
I'm watching it.
I think it is.
Is it?
Did you not like it?
Well, I fell asleep halfway. So I fell asleep during 2 films this year. One was this, and the other one was Wild Wild West. So that kind of tells you the bar.
But you had to finish off Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
We had to sit here and watch the last 10 minutes again when I'd already done it and paid money for it.
Hang on, are you putting Long Legs in the same category as Wild Wild West?
It wishes it was as good as Wild Wild West.
Come on! I thought it was just really well done. I think, because it's set in the 90s, I'm starting to now... Best decade.
It was the best decade.
Yeah, it was the best decade. Because it's set in like sort of early 90s, I'm now starting to... Do you know what I mean? I now have a reference for it. And I was like, oh, I was born in the 90s. I can now recognise like the fact that...
And I've got really long legs.
You do have quite long legs.
Thank you. I think. But yeah, Nicolas Cage in it is fucking good. He's really good.
I've heard
in it.
that.
And Manika.
What do you mean you've heard that?
I didn't watch
Did
the
you
whole
not watch
film.
it?
What do you mean you didn't? Yeah, because how
watched
do you
half
know
the
you didn't
film.
like it if you didn't see it all?
How long did you get through it?
Not as long as his legs.
I bet you got up to the point like before the big thing happens and you slept through it. I bet that's what happened.
I'd watch it again just to shut people up because I get abused about it all the time. Quite frankly, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of this shit. We're so good friends. I just want to watch Sonic punch Shadow to the moon.
I want to watch that too. But we need to have balance. Sorry, I've got a few honourable mentions. I couldn't decide. I've never heard anyone else like talk about it. There's a really good documentary called 1,000 Fires, which is about
Harrowing.
Yeah, it's about makeshift oil wells in Africa.
It is harrowing.
Yeah, it's not an easy watch, but it is so fucking good. It's amazing documentary, so I'd really recommend it. But you can get it on something called True Story. Never heard of that streaming platform in my life. But yeah, 1,000 Fires is also a really good documentary.
Okay.
What have you got?
Yeah, what you got, Stace?
So I actually found it quite hard to pick a film from 2024. I think because I've watched a lot of films, but not necessarily released in 2024, I don't really get out much. So I've gone for...
If only you could watch Netflix at home.
Don't be stupid. You have to go to the Netflix Centre in the UK. Everyone goes to the Netflix Centre and everyone just beams in with little PSVRs.
Yeah, I just don't have time anymore.
Yeah, and then someone goes, oh, Wild Wild West. Can't wait to watch this again.
I've gone for 2 that we've actually reviewed on this pod and a third one. So
I can guess what one of them is.
I am actually gonna say this is my top choice of the year, Alien Romulus.
Really?
Yes, and neither of
Cool.
you gave it an honourable mentions.
I really thought about it, but yeah, I really did think about it. But I can see why you'd put it.
Well, it's one of my favourite franchises in film. I thought this actually did the franchise justice. The look of it was really different to anything you're going to find now. Go back and listen to our review. But
Honestly, did you give it a good review?
yeah,
Back in the day, I can't remember.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in August.
Back in August. Yeah, I enjoyed it. We all gave it down approval. I just am not in a rush to go and watch it. If you gave me an option, be like, would you like to watch Aliens or would you like to watch Alien Romulus? I'd be like, I want to watch Aliens.
But I
And
think,
I'm going to go, what's a rhombus?
Yeah.
but Alien Romulus would be a close third of the franchise, I'd say.
It's the third
It's
best.
a third. It's not a close third.
Oh, okay. I would say it's a close third. I really enjoyed it, or my memory of it is really enjoying it. I think there were things that didn't work, if I remember. Back
Big
to-
old gangly man. Throwing his
Old long
limbs
legs.
about. Yeah, fucking long legs coming in for the second. I fell asleep. I didn't watch it.
Did you fall asleep when you just pass out and you see like very skinny people?
Oh, skinny jeans.
Ben Sheridan. Oh god. And then I've also gone for Inside Out too because I
Really?
really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to
Are
be.
you just plugging our own podcast here?
I haven't watched a lot of movies that were released.
She's gonna mention Wild Wild West, yeah.
2024. No, I just thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed watching it with you both. Like, I think for me, sometimes watching the film, like the environment you watch it in, also makes the film. And I think because we watched it together and we had a good laugh whilst we were doing it, I think that kind of
There is something to be said about an atmosphere in a cinema, but I think that's why I put Dune 2 so high on my list, because it was a good...
because I was giving you a death stare as you watched.
No, 'cause I thought you were enjoying it.
I've paid £15 to be here. I am fucking livid.
And third, you both gave it an honourable mention. I think you're going to be surprised that I've picked this. I've actually gone for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Really?
I have, which is a real surprise for myself because I'm really bored of Marvel.
I would not have put that in your top 3.
I know. I'm really bored of superhero things, but I really enjoyed
Is this because of
film.
your lack of being able to Google? You've looked
Probably.
up best films and
No,
you've
I've
just
got
picked the
other
first
problems.
one you've seen.
No, I've got honourable.
She can't Google, guys. She can't.
Alien Romulus, Damsel was on there, and...
She just booted up our podcast and was like, what have we reviewed?
No, I just really liked it. I would actually go back and rewatch that, and I think you could almost be a standalone movie. But I thought it was just really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was the best of the Deadpool franchise as well. to
I
be
would
honest
agree.
with you.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
And what's not to like with a little stupid dog with his tongue hanging out his mouth?
Dog Paul.
Yeah, Dogpool. Loved it. Honourable mentions, but again, these aren't necessarily great films. It's just I genuinely haven't watched a lot of films released in 2024.
You run a film podcast.
I know, it's terrible. It ends with Us. Questionable, but now it's got a resurgence with a lot more gossip coming out of that film.
Oh, is that the Blake Lively one?
Yeah.
Oh, I keep mixing it up and then
No, Lively Blake.
Like, oh yes,
Blake.
that was a really good joke. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
say
yeah.
that right now. It was
I
a
think we
really
got nominated
good-
for that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what made
Most
the...
vomit-inducing moment of the year.
So that's what got me on TV. They listened to that joke and it was like, who's that person? I'm like, not him, he's terrible.
That's what...
Oh, it's Harry. Oh, we thought we were getting Ben. Never mind.
Come on.
That's what got us the Japanese listeners. They heard how incredibly funny you are.
Yeah, thank you.
Woman of the Hour, because I did actually really enjoy it.
I liked it.
I did not.
I thought it was different. And also, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Forgot that came out, if I'm honest.
Because, again, I wouldn't necessarily put it as an amazing film that I've watched, but we all went to see it together. We all had a good chuckle about some of the stupid things in the film. And it was just to turn your brain off one of the franchise, wasn't it?
Like, there's not a bad one. Could be the best trilogy if it wasn't for Batman.
It's up there.
It's definitely near there. Nowhere near Batman,
No,
of
no, of
course.
course.
Okay, screw you all. So, have you got any films that you're looking forward to in 2025? I've actually got more on my list here than I've actually reviewed of 2024.
Go on,
so-
reel them off. What have you got?
Unlike I think both of you, I really love the Avatar franchise.
Meh.
Like, I really love it.
Oh, the blue one.
The blue guys.
Really?
Yeah, I love
blue
everything about it.
Oh, the Tree of Life. You've got to save it, Jack Worthington. He's got a little sweeping thing there. He's like,
I really
someone please
love it.
interrupt me. This joke can't go on too long.
I can go.
No, I don't want to.
Shut up, Ben.
I was looking forward to how you're going to end it. I was like, where's he going with this?
It's like freefall jazz. It just doesn't really have an ending. Just peters out. Sorry, you were talking about Avatar, weren't you?
Avatar. It's the third of the franchise, Avatar Fire and Ash.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
But I just love everything about the universe, so
Avatar
I'm really
4,
excited for
Air
that.
and Wind.
They are literally going down the Avatar route, yeah.
Avatar 5, Compost Heap.
There's a new Star Trek film
Is that?
called Star Trek Section 31, and it's with the woman that we really like from the
I
last...
refuse to believe that. But carry on. What, from the series?
Yeah.
So it's a continuation from the Netflix Discovery.
Discovery, yeah.
So it's from the same universe that brought you.
But we really like her
Netflix's
character, so
Trek Discovery.
I'm excited for that. There's a little film called Tokyo Cowboy that I discovered whilst researching films that we could do on the pod that looks absolutely my sort of film without a question. But I'm struggling with how to watch it, but I'm pretty sure that comes out in 2025, so super excited for that.
Cool.
Downton Abbey 3, who wouldn't be? And Until Dawn, the game that we've mentioned quite a few times, is having a film release, which is exciting.
Does it have a release, or does it have like an actual schedule around it as well?
What's the difference?
Because you can say we're looking to release this film in October 2025, but unless they've got a green light and they've got a cast attached and the production, that's the thing. Sure. It's only because I've been waiting for the Metal Gear Solid film for about 30 years, and they keep saying, "Oh, it'll be next year, it'll be next year."
I couldn't see.
I would like to see that.
Do you know what I would like? You go to the cinema and everyone has like a buzzer, the buzz PS2 game, all have colours, and at certain points in the film it goes slow and it comes with 4 options, and like you have to press what you want to have, and then whatever majority, that's what happens.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
good.
like, wow, this is so innovative, Harry. Oh, Harry saw a skinny man.
He's passed out.
He's just asleep.
And one final mention, and I'm super excited for this, and Harry will agree with me that the previous film in this franchise was an absolute masterpiece. SpongeBob SquarePants Search for SquarePants.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that film. Yeah, we'll go see that.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we'll go see that.
I'm pretty sure the creator of SpongeBob is dead.
I think, maybe.
Sorry to put a downer on it.
But how good was the second one? Matt Berry was in it.
He was. And they even did an epic rap battles of history.
Yeah.
That was really good.
It's going to be tough to beat, but I think it's going to be great.
Okay. I am looking forward to, after a very quick Google, Black Phone 2, because I really enjoyed Black Phone, and I don't know how you do a sequel because he very much gets caught.
Yeah. 2,
Predator Badlands.
Yes.
Very much looking forward to that. The last Predator Prey for Disney was awesome. A right return to form. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they don't fuck that up. Next up, Mortal Kombat 2, because, Mortal Kombat 1 was awesome. I think they did justice to the franchise. They did enough with the lore to make it interesting, and when they left it for a sequel, I was like, I would prefer that sequel, and here it is.
I didn't know there was a sequel being announced.
Neither did I.
Oh, fair enough.
One I did know about, and I'm very much looking forward to for the wrong reasons, Screamboat Willie. So,
is that
not.
Is that from that
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh?
From the same universe that give
Great.
you. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Steamboat Willie horror movie. It's going to be 3 out of 10. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
And the other one is 28 years later.
Oh,
which
Yes.
I'm looking forward to, but I am a little bit apprehensive. Just because it's good where it's at, and you could leave it.
Yeah.
And also they want to turn this, I've heard they want to turn this into a trilogy.
It's going to be. They've already finished filming part 2.
So,
Which your boy worked on.
oh, nice.
Ben, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a film that comes out today, Nosferatu, by Robert Eggers. I think that's going to be fantastic. I really liked the 20s version because I'm pretentious, or the 10s version because I'm even more pretentious. Sticking with horror, the guy who did Long Legs is also doing another film called The Monkey.
Fuck off.
You fuck off! You're ruining my thing!
Monkey legs.
One that I think...
Oh, it's gone. Passed out.
Another one I'm looking forward to, which we should watch, is The Conjuring 4 comes out, which I'm excited for only because James Wan is back on it.
Okay.
And it's reuniting everyone, and also a few friends of mine have worked on it, and they said it was actually quite interesting, quite good. So
I'm well up for giving it a chance.
yeah, I'm happy to give it a go. Going off horror, I'm also looking forward to The Electric State, which is coming out for Netflix, which is an adaptation of one of my favourite sort of graphic art books, I guess, or like art book with a story. Really good. Mickey 17 by Park Chan-wook, that's got Robert Pattinson in it. I'm looking forward to that, Mickey 17. And what's the one you just said? 28 Years Later.
Yeah.
Looking forward to 28 Years Later as well. And my final one, even though it's going to be a bit of a strange one, I'm actually looking forward to the F1 film as well, because I want to see how they either butcher it or they do it justice. I want to see, because it'll be the first time as a sports fan that I'm going to watch a a film about the sport I know a lot about and really love. So I'm going to be like, how are you going to mess this one up?
Is Brad Pitt in that?
He is in that, yeah. So I'm excited to see what happens there in 2025. Trainwreck or We Soar with the Angels.
He needs that divorce money.
Oh, moving on. Sorry,
Okay, so now we're going to go into our top 3 TV shows of the year.
Number 3, Terminator Zero.
Okay.
I think that as an anime was fucking brilliant.
We didn't get around to watching that.
Gave Terminator a new...
It is on the list.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
It gave Terminator, I think, the kick it needed to restart it. I think it gave itself a really good story. It gave it a really good angle that I hadn't seen. It's all set in Japan, so it's a side of the world you've never seen before. And it made the Terminator scary again.
Ooh.
It is quite anime.
Is Arnie in it?
No.
Interesting.
No, that's not really a spoiler, but no, he's not in it at all. Because it's like everything about Terminator that's in the US, this is Japan.
Oh, I see.
It's completely different.
Oh, interesting. Is it Japanese?
Yes.
Like subtitled?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Number 2, which I think is going to be on yours, X-Men 97.
No.
I'm surprised.
No, because that's...
Shit the bed.
No, I didn't put it on there because I thought you would.
Okay.
And also because he's got Knuckles TV show and there wasn't room for both. But
That is fair.
One's got to go.
For a TV show that came out literally ended in 1996 and then they've kept the same continuity, almost the same art style. It's such a good story. I never thought X-Men would be able to show me things about humanity's place in the world and mutants and grief and trauma and develop the relationships that, have been dormant for 30 years. I didn't think they'd be able to pull it off in the way they did, and it's so, so good.
It's an adult spin.
Yeah. They'd just get to a point where sit down, you are not watching your kids' X-Men anymore.
I have no interest really in X-Men, but the way you've both spoken about it has actually made me really want to watch it. So
Yeah, that's the thing. It has been...
And it's not long.
That's the thing. It has been genuinely decades since I saw the original X-Men. Mm. So I was like, okay, I enjoyed that. I'll see what this one has got going for it. And it's just been some of the best TV this year for me.
And that intro.
Oh, the intro's so good. Barely changed it.
Blue
Men Group. And then number 1, wasn't really any doubt for me, was Fallout. I think for me, it's been I would say Sonic has got to that point now as well, but I think in terms of a video game adaptation, Fallout has set the template and it's fucking nailed it.
For a TV series, 100%.
Yeah, I think we've tried this before. I think Last of Us was good, but it also went in its own direction. I think Fallout has managed to integrate gameplay elements into the story, which are not front and centre, but have managed to put them into the world really well. It's really well acted. The story's great. It sets up season 2 so well. It does its own thing.
It's been a good year for video game adaptation.
It's been a fucking brilliant year.
It's the new trend, isn't it?
Well, Fallout was awesome, as was I'm in a Death Car. What's it called?
Twisted Metal.
That's the one. Twisted Metal was amazing. Well worth a watch. Knuckles, top tier TV.
I like how you've compared Fallout to Sonic the Hedgehog franchise.
I think just because it's
Only because it's
an
considered
adaptation.
the best of... Sonic is considered the best video game movie.
By you.
Look at the IMDb. The IMDb does not lie.
Yeah, listeners.
It's the best one, okay?
Yeah, so I think I was quite surprised this year that 2 of the shows that I really enjoyed this year were both animated, and the last one was a video game adaptation.
Okay, honourable mentions.
Honourable
Make it
mentions.
snappy.
Honourable mentions. The Listeners on BBC. Really good, kind of creepy, but also it's just good drama. I wish I'd gotten around to see Shogun. I really need to. So I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's fantastic. And a good bit of comfort TV because I've watched it all again. Ludwig.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed Ludwig.
You watched it all again?
Yeah, it's just really good comfort TV.
You weren't that sold on it, I thought.
I wasn't, but it's just kind of a nice little... It's quite a nice thing to have on, and I quite enjoyed that. It's become one of my little comfort shows. I'm Ludwig.
Nice.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. Harry.
Top 3.
Top 3 TV series. So I've gone for Arcane.
Do need to watch that.
It's very good. It's probably not as strong as the first season, in all honesty, but I think that's because the first season was so good.
Okay.
It goes in a couple of weird directions, but it does sew it up nicely in the end. also leaves it open enough if you want to do a sequel, but it also leaves it where it's like, if they wanted to call it a day, they call it a day. Great animation on it.
Has it?
Great use of colours. Like Jinx is all blue, Flare and Violet. Yeah, it's all pinks and reds. And they do it really well. Jinx is the most interesting character, I'd say.
Yeah, she's the Joker.
Yeah.
Has it given you guys any more interest in like League of Legends as a property?
Zero.
Like, or not even from like a gaming perspective, but like has it made you
It's
look?
full of fucking nerds and virgins.
That is true.
It's true.
All right, that's our hot take for 2024.
You love it, right, Ben?
I'm not very good at it.
I thought it was awesome. I would thoroughly recommend it as well. If anyone said to me, what's a good little short series? It's 2 seasons, 10 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And the next up was The Bear.
I
So season 3 come out this year, but I'm going to include all of it because we watched it all this year.
Yeah, we really enjoyed that together.
Yeah, I'd say the only shit thing about that is that you have to wait until season 4. It's chaotic, stressful,
Funny.
enjoyable, funny, lovable,
Relatable.
Yeah, if you've worked in hospitality, you know the stress.
Maybe this is why I'm putting it off, because I just don't need that.
You don't need the trauma.
I don't need that trauma again.
No.
I think I've never met someone who said The Bear was bad.
We've met someone who couldn't watch it because it was too full on.
Okay.
But that's different. That's not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thoroughly recommend it. It's awesome. And then number 1, I went Fallout, which you've said a lot of it already, but I don't know the Fallout franchise. I've never played it, and so I really appreciated the fact that as a non-fan, I could sit down and watch it and enjoy it, and it actually sort of made me look into, I would actually play that. I would actually get involved, and I think when the next one eventually comes out, I would probably jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah. I'm interested that you guys came at it from a completely neutral point of view, whereas I came at it as a fan, but you still had just as much of a good time of it as I had.
Well, I think it does the good thing of giving you nods and winks.
Yeah.
Without relying
And
on the nods and winks.
and also doesn't cram like 4 games worth of lore into like 2 episodes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which I really like. It's just a little drip feed here, there, and everywhere. Lovely.
If you haven't watched it, bloody watch it.
Fucking watch
Honourable
it.
mentions.
You nerds.
So
And
this
virgins.
would have made my top 3, but it's not finished yet, and that's Dragon Ball Z Daima.
Okay.
And I know I'm going to love it,
Of course.
but the
You haven't even
English,
seen it, but you just know.
the English dub isn't finished yet. So I don't like watching things episodically. I want to watch it all in a binge,
Yeah.
and I know I'll love it because it's my franchise.
We should do a little mini review of that when it's
When done
the
and
English is
dusted.
finally out and done.
Invincible Season 2 Part 2 come out this year.
That's what
and
it
I
was.
very much enjoyed that. And they've actually seemed to have pulled their finger out because Season 3 comes out in January.
Which is mad.
Yeah.
I was expecting to wait until I was at like 33. I'm 25 now. No.
Yeah,
So yeah, it must have
Seth Rogen's done a great job with helping that go along.
I'm really impressed with it.
And that's another superhero thing that you actually like.
Yeah, did really enjoy that. It was very Moorish.
Yeah, that was it. And then TV series for you.
So I've tried to pick some TV series that neither of you would mention.
I'm going to be really interested to see what your TV shows are.
I do watch a lot of TV. Bake Off, Love is Blind, all honourable mentions here. I'm going to go straight into my honourable mentions before I go into my top 3. Until I Kill You was a great murdery one. Had to mention a murdery one. Avatar, the Last Airbender real live version came out this year. And I've given it an honourable mention, even though we didn't actually watch the live action version, because it spurred us to watch the original cartoon series, and that's now one of my favourite things of all time. So
I do remember you two talking about it whenever I came round. Like, oh, I'm up to this bit, I'm up to that bit. I was like, oh, it's good to see people like I don't see it anymore. Like everyone I know has watched Avatar and knew it, and now to see you two having like gone through it and experienced the same thing, and then you watched Korra as well.
Yep.
it was so good. I can't speak highly enough of it, and we probably will watch the live action one, but we just wanted to give it a bit of a break afterwards.
I mean, you should watch the film.
You've already mentioned it, but Ludwig, absolutely fantastic. We really enjoyed that. And I've also put The Gentleman, which we watched. That was really good. Really funny. And I've not made it into my top 3, but because I knew you both would love it. But Fallout, as you've already said, absolutely fantastic. Can't fault it. But I wanted to go with things that are a bit different. So my top 3 were The Bear, as you mentioned, because that was just really great for all the reasons that Harry's already said, so you don't need me to repeat it, but we really enjoyed it. Again, very Moorish very like I've also got Baby Reindeer, because that was it's just a fantastically put together show. I think it had a lot of controversy around it because the actual guy from the true life story plays himself. And that's kind of weird when you're watching it. But if you kind of understand that lots of that have been rewritten to make it into a TV show, it's very cleverly put together.
Okay. Again, I do need to watch it, but it's also very stressful for me. It's that sort of bad level of cringe where I'm like, ugh.
It's got some really awful moments in it, but it's also got some kind of heartfelt other moments.
It makes you feel things.
It's unlike something I've ever watched before. That's why I like. It's one that you'll think about and talk about a lot. So that's why it's on.
It was everywhere. When it came out, everyone was talking about it. It's the fact that you binged it. Yeah. That I just didn't watch it because you had already watched it by the time I had heard, before I had seen the meme about it.
You'll have to watch it, yeah. And my last one, again, because I wanted to be a little bit different, is Nobody Wants This.
What's that?
That is what's her name? Kirsten Bell one. She plays a Shishka, who falls in love with
I ordered one of them the other night.
Who falls in love with
again the next morning.
A Jewish rabbi. And it's just about their kind of love story, but she's kind of mean and she's not Jewish at all. And it's can they be together even though he's a rabbi? But it's a lot funnier and really clever than I'm giving it credit to, and that the plot makes it sound like. It's just really great. And it's skyrocketed. It's so popular.
What's it on? Where can you watch it?
I think it was Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
It must have completely passed me by.
People are like low-key obsessed with it. I'm using a Gen Z term.
Bloody hell.
High-key obsessed with it? I don't know. But it's essentially a romantic comedy, but it's just really cleverly put together.
Okay.
Really, really good. That's my TV shows. So
we're looking forward to in 2025.
There's apparently a TV show around the Alien franchise coming out. So
Alien Earth.
Can't give that.
We're going back to Earth, B.
Can't not give that a mention.
We started the spaceship, now we're here.
That's my franchise. There's also a Star Trek Academy show coming out.
Star Trek Academy.
I'm sure the first 2 seasons will be fantastic and then it'll drop off and be shit. Like everything else.
Harry's Optimistic B.
Yeah. How said there'd be 2 good seasons?
We're all going to mention Stranger Things, I'm sure, because that's going to be the end of that.
Oh, yeah.
The Morning Show, I think, has a new season. Severance, which we've just finished, so we've timed that right to watch the new season of that.
You haven't suffered like I have. Yeah, I've had to wait.
Black Mirror, the new season's coming out of that as well.
I didn't know that.
Going off a reality TV show vibe, The Traitors starts as this is being aired, I imagine. So I literally cannot wait.
Okay.
That's amazing.
What are you looking forward to TV show wise, Harry?
So I'm looking forward to 2025 Invincible season 3.
Yeah,
I mentioned it earlier. It comes out early, so I'll be looking forward to that. Daredevil.
Ooh.
Is it going to be season 4 or is it just Brave and the Bold now?
So I don't think it's going to be season 4. I don't know how they're doing it. I'll be honest with you. I've kept my nose out of it because it's had a lot of problems.
It has.
Has it?
Yes.
It's been rewritten a lot.
Rewritten a lot, and that doesn't normally bode well. But season 3 of Daredevil is top television. It's fucking phenomenal. Swear to God, roll your eyes like that, mate. Again, girl.
Can you hear my eyes rolling?
This is the energy we're going into 2025 with.
I'm really surprised that's still going, to be honest, though, because it came out.
Because it's not like Marvel will just keep going.
They're going to be beating that horse right to the ground.
It came out ages ago, the first one, didn't it?
Yeah, but they bought the Netflix shows or whatever.
But they've also, the fans have been crying out for Daredevil's, a new Daredevil thing since it finished. Sorry, I threw up.
That's how excited he is.
I know.
He literally threw up.
Because also it means I also get my boy John Bernthal back as the Punisher because he's been confirmed to be in it.
Next up, Severance. Same reason as you. Dragon Ball Super returns.
Oh my god!
Well, the manga has been confirmed, which normally means the anime will not be far behind.
Yeah.
But not the dubbed, I imagine.
I imagine not the dubbed.
Oh.
But with Super, I'd probably watch the sub.
Would you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's Squid Games.
Oh my god, yes!
Technically comes out on Boxing Day, but fuck you. It's my list. I won't watch it until 2025.
A minute past midnight.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. I'm just scared they're not going to do it justice.
I agree. But, you know, glass half full.
Yeah.
Stop being so pessimistic.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Harry's always a glass half full guy.
Right, Benji, have you...
TV I'm looking forward to, Severance. Also looking forward to, I don't know if it'll be next year because I've not heard anything, but I imagine it will be The Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be lucky.
I think maybe The Boys will be out.
I don't know why I turned into a pirate there.
I don't know.
Oh, you be lucky. You get your boys. Where's the blue group?
I like this character.
Yeah,
the news pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Severance. I'm also looking forward to Invincible. As you've said, I'm also looking forward to Squid Game Season 2 because I'm going to steal it off your list because fuck you, it's also my list.
Because I didn't write anything
Fuck you, audience. And then finally, I am so excited for Andor Season 2.
That's Star Wars.
So excited for Star Wars Andor Season 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We have to watch Andor. It's meant to be incredible.
I loved Season 1. I think Season 2 is going to be really good. And also, I worked on it. So I'm really looking forward to see
your name in the credits.
That too. I'm also I'm looking forward to seeing the hard work that we put into it, and I'm sure at some point I'll probably have to field some questions. But yeah, that's my TV stuff for the moment.
Okay, so we decided not to do 2024 game releases, but games that you've played in 2024 because we don't always have time to keep up with the latest game releases, right? I've chosen not to review games I've played this year unless you really want to hear about House Flipper, which was phenomenal, by the way.
I'd say, did it come out in 2024?
Yeah.
Then that's your 2020. Then that's your game of the year.
Fantastic. Game of the year.
That's your game of the year. House Flipper 2.
Harry's grimacing. Harry, your top 3.
Reet. So, one that did come out in 2024 was FF7 Rebirth.
Yep.
That had to make the list. We played it together.
And we reviewed it.
And we reviewed it in a previous pod. Check it out. Also, Ben does a horrific forfeit in that one. Well worth a listen.
I haven't heard.
I joined the Blue Man group.
He's only just come back. Still has a taint of blue around him though. Doesn't wash off easy.
No, it really doesn't.
Ever since that
Lead-based
challenge.
paint, I heard.
I do feel a bit sleepy.
Ever since that challenge, every time Ben walks, he just lets out a
You can
little
hear
fart.
him before he comes into the room. Yeah, FF7 Rebirth is phenomenal. Like we've reviewed it, a great remake / reimagining of Final Fantasy VII. The graphics were insane. The story was done well. Combat was awesome.
Can't fault it.
Can't fault it. On to the next one, and this is a complete and utter fucking fanboy wanky off game. Sonic Generations.
Good game.
It is a good game.
It's a good game.
It is a good game.
Wasn't that released several years ago?
Sonic Generations was released, in...
He's thrown us back out.
Two.
Let's ask the news pirate.
Alright, come out 2011. It come out in 2011. But the remake that had the Shadow add-on game come out this year.
Yeah.
I see.
Sonic X Shadow
Kind of a
Generations.
remake, reimagining.
But the new Shadow stuff is all done from ground up and was brilliant. It was not even just from like a Sonic fan's point of view. I think you could give that game to any gamer and they'd have a blast.
I played it around here, really enjoyed it. Like,
That one go you were allowed.
I was allowed one go, but it was a hell of a go.
You got to watch me after.
I did, yes, and I had to clap.
Yeah, obviously.
Give me that controller, Ben. What are you doing?
You're not doing it right.
You're not having fun, right? That's not how you have fun. Now watch me meticulously play this level. Because that's how you have fun.
Harry did let me play one bit next to him. I had a wired controller plugged into the PlayStation. And I was
doing it right?
And I was allowed to control, I don't know, something, the camera. He told me not to touch it, it would put him off.
And it come out and it wasn't 70 quid, which was nice. It come out to £35.
Wow.
Which is mad.
Yeah.
As it should.
Yeah.
You reckon they got their float from the film just to be like, we can make this
I think that's what you should do for remakes.
Yeah.
It's not being built from the ground up. The small patch has been built from the ground up. It's ludicrous when they charge 70 quid for a fucking remake.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going off on one.
And your third one.
Is it an aneurysm?
Fucking hell, it's hard work doing this. Anyway, my third one, and I've got good and bad things to say about this, I think. It's Resident Evil 4. So obviously it didn't come out this year, it came out last year, but I only played it this year. Mm-hmm. It is a phenomenal game.
Yep.
It takes an already pretty perfect game and improves on it, but it does, I think look at my games. Rebirth, it's a remake. Generations, it's a remake. RE4, remake. the films we picked, look, we're looking forward to that sequels. It's so boring, and I'm sure I'll pick up some indie games as the year goes on. But there's no originality coming out. Like my games, they are good games, but move on. Make better games. Just make Resident Evil 9 and make it good.
Yeah.
Stop selling games because of member berries.
I tell you an original game that didn't make your list. Squirrel with a Gun.
Have you listened to our honourable mentions?
Oh, is that it then?
Honourable mentions, Squirrel with a Gun.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. I'd absolutely play it again as well. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's not worth more than a tenner. But but if you can spare £10 for a stupid game, get it.
Just when you take away or Squirrel with a Gun, you're going to have more fun with Squirrel with a Gun.
Yeah. It's for £10. It's like not even 2 pints nowadays. Rocket League, because it's always my go-to. I'm a sucker for it. It's my poison. And Power World. It come to PlayStation, and it's the game I play with Chris in Australia. And
you've played that a lot.
Yeah, I've played it a lot. It's a bit ropey. It's very rough around the edges. But it's Pokemon with guns. I'm all for it. I love the little legal battle that's going on with Nintendo versus Power World.
Is that still going on?
Oh, it's still going.
Nintendo are going to torch their office if they can. There's going to be a Pikachu mascot running away from it.
They sued fans that made emulators.
I know.
Fans.
Thanks, Nintendo.
And now Power World are making like absolute tens of millions off this franchise.
There was a news story that came out. They were like, I don't know what we don't know what we're doing with all this money. Like, we actually have no plan. We didn't expect this.
Probably get a good lawyer.
So it's like, we're just putting it away. We don't know what to do.
Ben, your top 3 games.
Same as you guys. Didn't really play like anything particularly new. I've tried to keep it to this year though. I only really have 3. One of them's like my go-to. One of them's my go-to, my comfort one. It didn't come out this year, but I play it every year, and that's Gran Turismo 7. I like racing. I like cars. It gives me that nice feel-good factor. I have a racing wheel. I use it a lot.
Nice. Question, would you play racing games in VR? Because then you get the full experience.
I would, but you need all the kit and all that.
It's a proper rig.
Yeah, well, because me and Harry will stand either side of you with a fan, so you feel like the wind is in your hair as you drive around.
Oh, like rain. If I crash, would you like the airbag just smack me with a pillow or a beanbag?
Yes, we absolutely would.
Nice. Number 2, again, didn't come out this year, but I played it this year and I love it, is Shadows of Doubt. I am just really enjoying going into the world for a couple of hours. It's an absolute time sink as well. I'll solve one case and it's been like 5 hours or something.
I'm a bit pissed off we missed it on the free games. Because that's what you got it, wasn't it?
I got it on a sale.
Yeah, you got it on a sale. Oh, okay.
And it was about 20 quid.
The detective game?
Yeah, the detective game.
Okay.
And yeah, I just love being able to go in there, do a case, figure it out. It gives me that sort of that good dopamine hit when you figure it out on your own. And you just...
No IGN guide, no?
No. Maybe one. It's like how to dial numbers.
I really want to play it off the back of your review. Yeah, really excited.
I just think it's such a unique game. It is rough around the edges, but I think if they've already said they're kind of working on a sequel as well, they'll support this for as long as they can. Then they'll do a sequel. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do with that. And the final one, which did come out this year, and I really like it, even though it's had a few controversies. Helldivers 2. I just think Helldivers 2 has been fantastic. And that is you're looking at me blankly.
I just can't believe Silent Hill 2 didn't make your list.
I completely forgot that was on there. I forgot that had come out this year.
When you would like to win
Silent Hill 2 is also on it.
I was like, how has he just missed that?
Okay, Silent Hill 2 is also on that list. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, News Pirate.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2. Pyramid Head.
That's now got to come back.
It's a good prompt. Right. It's a good prompt, and I'm enjoying it. Oh yeah, Silent Hill 2, obviously. Just gave me one of my favourite games.
It's Starship Troopers, isn't it?
Yeah, Helldivers 2 is basically just Starship Troopers.
It looked cool.
Yeah,
I missed the little gap.
Yeah, and just the game. I was playing it before I came here. Like this morning, just the gameplay is so just tight. You can create these really good little cinematic moments with like last stands and just you're running low on ammo, so you switch your side on, someone tosses you some ammo or something like that. Just really good, really fun to play, quite funny. Yeah, and then obviously Silent Hill 2, thank you, Harry. But again, that gave me a game I already loved and just gave me the same game with some new graphics.
Okay, what are you looking forward to game-wise next year?
So, 2025 games. This was fairly easy for me, to be honest with you. Doom. The next Doom comes out next year.
The next Doom comes out next year?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So that's very much on the list. I love everything Doom. Mm-hmm. Monster Hunter Wilds. That will absorb my life. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
I will neglect you and the dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's understood. Oh, talking to Stacey.
Yeah. Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch. If it comes out, it's one of those games that seems to be just pushed back forever and ever. But hopefully it actually comes out. And then the last one, Borderlands 4. Because it'll be another game which I can play with Chris online.
Yeah.
And Borderlands is just quite a safe game. As long as it has quite a funny script about 1 billion guns and interesting levels, sign me up.
Games I'm looking forward to, you've already said one, Monster Hunter Wilds. I think, again, that's going to just completely absorb everything again. And it's been a while since I've played a Monster Hunter game, and I'd like to...
I just like to stick it to the vegans. Just killing them monsters just makes me feel good.
Absolutely.
Why is that sticking it to the vegans?
Because you cook them.
Monster rice.
You kill the monsters, you cook them, you use their body parts for weapons.
Well, at least if you're using the whole of the monster.
No, I throw half of it in the biffa.
Right,
Yeah, and I laugh as I do it. and then I get a massive tyre, and I put it on and I set it on fire.
Okay.
Yeah. You can play a vegan run of Monster Hunter Wilds, but it's going to be a really boring game.
Where you do nothing.
Or a lovely sightseeing game, one of the two. I'm looking forward to Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. I'm a little bit worried for it because they're saying it's exactly the same as the old game, complete with loading screens and all this. I was like, maybe you need to give some quality of life updates. But I imagine they probably will in a patch because I think fans and just people who haven't played it are going to...
riot.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be like...
Why is my TV black? For 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think people are just going to be like, what are you doing? This is silly. So I think we'll probably get a patch on that. Little Nightmares 3 comes out. And looking forward to that. Always enjoyed those games. Would love to see more of the world and know more about it. And there is a post-apocalyptic 50s-style game set in the Cotswolds.
Is it Fallout?
It's not. It's
Cotswold edition.
It's like Fallout Cotswolds, and it's called Atomfall.
Can you go for a spa day while you're there?
Probably. I wouldn't recommend it. It's a game called Atomfall. Trailer's out. Looks kind of interesting. Probably won't set the world on fire, but it's very much my aesthetic. So yeah, those are all my games.
Okay, lovely. Lovely stuff. Well, I didn't do any games because, as I said, unless you want to hear about House Flipper 2.
Stace, you've been a nerd and read some books, haven't you, you nerd?
Yeah, I am a book nerd.
Yeah, what sort of books you read, you nerd?
So I've gone for, obviously have to mention the ACOTAR book series. I've gone for A Court of Mist and Fury, the second book, because for me, having a second book that's even better than the first is quite incredible.
Yeah.
And it was just, honestly, I couldn't live with, whilst I was reading this book, I couldn't do anything but read this book. It was while you were in Australia. So otherwise I would have just abandoned you and been reading the whole time. So that's by Sarah Mars. The second book I've gone for is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevan.
You got a stutter.
No. You guys might like it, actually. It's a book about video games.
Oh.
It's...
Go on. It was a sequel to the Beatles song yesterday.
Very good,
Very good, Sam.
Thank you.
I doff my hat.
I thought it was someone with dementia.
It's set in the 80s, 90s era.
Area.
It is the area of Saga. Saga and non-Tondor are fighting.
About a guy and a girl who invent a video game called, I can't remember, Ichibo or something like that. It's about a little Japanese kid who has to find their way home, and then it's about how their lives revolve around this character and things happen. And It is kind of a book that goes nowhere, but it's just really... there's not a big grand finale at the end, but it's just it had a lot of member berries in it, rereading some of the things they had in there about video games and the 90s and things like that you'd remember.
That does sound quite interesting. I'll give that a read.
Yeah.
Does it have real life stuff? Are Sega and Nintendo mentioned?
They're not specifically mentioned, but it does have real life kind of throwbacks like specific games like Pong or Tetris or whatever.
Nintendo were going to be in it, but they burnt down the house they were writing the book in.
I feel like Donkey Kong might have been mentioned. They're only mentioned in passing and in context of them creating this game. And it's about how they use the mechanics of the game to make it playable and interesting. Because one of them is very much story and the other one is game mechanics.
Okay.
So that's quite interesting.
Does sound fun.
And the third book that I really enjoyed, which actually was released in 2024, was called Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. Obviously it's got quite a controversial title, which immediately grabs your attention.
Spell it out.
But it's about a young girl who basically she's with her friend who's like a TikTok influencer, and she's released a book and she's a best-selling author, and the main character struggled for years to get her books released, and one day she happens to be there when her friend dies and she steals her book, which is written about her heritage, and she steals that idea as her own.
I would do the same thing.
But it's just really well put together because, again, you know, you go through her trying to sell this lie that she's passing off, and people kind of finding her out, and do you carry on with the lie or do you not, kind of thing. Okay. And it's just really interesting. Couldn't put it down.
Well, two of those books sound quite fun.
Honourable mentions: The End of the World Running Club by Adrian Walker, which I would love to see made into a TV show, I think, which is about a guy who has to run from, I think, Glasgow to Devon, something like that, because the end of the world has happened and he has to reach the evacuation point. And he's got to do it before his family get evacuated.
Okay.
And you see all the kind of tropes of an apocalypse universe in it. Like, you know, he comes across humanity at its end, so people threatening each other, and can he survive? And he's really unhealthy and unfit at the start of it, and he has to run all the way to Devon, so that's obviously...
You not take a car?
Painful. No, because the cars are listed in the road, so you can't get anywhere.
That doesn't sound like a very can-do attitude.
And it's really harrowing, some of the end of the world apocalypse stuff. Pretty harrowing, but I think it would be great to watch. And then I read 2 Holocaust books, which I just really like to read, true life stories. So I'll just mention Auschwitz Photographer by Luca Crippa and Lily's Promised by Lily Ebert. And Lily actually died this year, so I think it was just prominent to mention her, as all of our Holocaust survivors are sadly no longer with us.
I think I've heard of that book.
Yeah, both really interesting stories that I've not come across before. And obviously Lily's is quite cute because her grandson helped her write it and it made her a TikTok star.
Nice.
So you can go off and find them.
Doing a TikTok dance.
Yeah, you can find them on TikTok. Obviously now she's passed away, but you know.
Video's a bit more drab. Yeah. She's not very good at flossing.
The content's really fallen off.
Yeah.
So those are my books of the year, my honourable mentions. I haven't actually got any books next year that I'm looking forward to because I'm terrible at Googling, as we've discussed. So
just giving up reading.
I'm trying to find some more fairy porn, but you know.
There's a few websites. There's definitely some websites.
So, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, let's look forward to 2025.
Let's see what it brings us.
Hopefully all good things. And again, we will continue. We will be still here, voices in your ear. Yeah, we'll still be reviewing we'll still be reviewing TV shows and games.
We're not reviewing other
films.
Podcasts.
We might review other podcasts. Who knows? Maybe we'll review other podcasts. Maybe
we'll review our own podcast.
Maybe we will. Maybe we'll look back at our own podcast.
It's great.
That wasn't very good.
Oh, what's he thinking there?
Why is he still doing the Blue Man joke?
I was about to get that back in as a callback. I was going to be like, maybe we'll review the Blue Man's podcast, and then I was going to do the whole thing again. But you know what? It's fine. 2025 is now going to be a year of disappointment.
We've already peaked. We've established this.
Yep, we've already gone above and beyond.
So on that note, we've been Nerds Against Normality. Catch all of our latest episodes every Wednesday wherever you get your podcast from. Please follow, rate, like us on social media for more exclusive content. And if you want to chat with us, please email us at nerdsagainstnormalitypod@outlook.com. Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year!
Happy 2025! Bye-bye!